Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Risang Galih Pramudika, and I want to criticizing famous critics movie critical review. And this is the review from Wesley Morris. By Wesley Morris, Global Staff, June 25, 2004. He said, Love shows its edge in Notebook. The Notebook is a dusky movie. It begins in twilight and ends here 2 hours later. A plucky satire about young lovers in 1940s North Carolina, adapted from Nicholas Sparks' bestseller. The story is frequently interrupted by strips to a modern-day nursing home to remind the romantics in the audience that love doesn't die, but it doesn't get gray. And then the movie invites us to watch two comely, ingenuous Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams fallen in love in 1940, then separate just before the start of World War II. Noah Cologne, or Gosling, and Ellie Hamilton, or McAdams, have one of those passionate affairs that spans both sides on the tracks. She's filthy rich, and he's not. But for what is its worth, he does aspire to build the girl the house of her dreams. Alice's cartoonishly snoopy parents don't care. Her father, David Thornton, wears a bushy black mustache that might as well be wax. John Allen phones in her part as the forbidding mother, and her performance might be made of wax too. And then Ellie Ellie fights her folks, demand that she stop spending so much time with Noah and his genial dad, Sam Shepard, at their countryside. But he martyrs himself and breaks things off. She moves away and he writes her letter a day for a year, during which time Mrs. Hamilton boards them as a decent evil mother must. In the in the 14 intervening years, Noah goes off to war and grows a beard, and Ellie goes to Sarah Lawrence, and where she volunteers as a nurse and cares for Lon Hammond, James Marsden, a handsome lawyer who hails from old money. Noah, meanwhile, returned from overseas, buries his father, and gets to work on building the dream house, which upon completion is featured in the local paper. Just as she's being fitted for her wedding dress, Ellie sees it and promptly passes out. She pays a visit to Noah and to the house, and the movie takes its time telling us which man Ali will choose. Although you don't have to be genuine to figure it out. It is easy. McAdams gave a sharp performance as the chief Minnie in Mean Girls. It was easy to forget her because, frankly, I didn't think I'd be seeing much of her other than it in parts as swallow vipers. Here, she's soulfully committed to the shots in the story and fiercely attentive to the other actors. I like watching her watch people, especially Gosling, who stares back at hard enough to bore holes. Rules rules in the rules in the believer and murder by numbers have demonstrated that Gosling is adapted at playing playing sociopaths and less intense brothers. And there's reason to early to think early on, and that Noah might be similarly of as when the threatens to drop from the Ferris wheel unless Alice agrees to go and date with him. There's only one note to a Gosling performance: long face determination, but he's good at at playing uh playing it. Occasionally, occasionally, the notebook leaps forward decades to show James Garner reading this late of the young and the passionate to General Lodge, who's playing a woman who has terrible Alzheimer's but can focus enough on Garner's like fable to find it addictive. Who is this man, and what is he to this story? She seems to wonder. As adapted by John Sardi and Jeremy Levin and directed by Nick Cassavetes, Roland Stone's The Notebook is two movies, one dubiously hitch hitch to the other, like on Golden Pond, stuff inside some young adult romance. I didn't read Sparks' novel, but the trailer more or less tells you how the present relates to the past. Was it even a secret in the notebook in the book? Regardless, I realized that because the movie is less than conventionally structured, my anticipation for a last minute beat and beats among the characters will garner turn out to be someone other than the person you know he is. Will Rollins was really just an enjoyable enough wait for the others to drop, which it does. Roland's characters, Dementia turns her fallen, and it's all Garner can do to watch. Why Cassavetes would want to steer his mother to this level or of discomfort is a question for the family therapist, but she does give one of her more interesting recent performance. Still, considering the sunny, relatively pleasurable romantic business that pres- presents it, the elderly stuff seems dark, morbid, and forced upon us. And then this is my comment, but I want to tell you who is Wesley Morris. Wesley Morris is an American film critic and podcast host. He is currently a major critic for the New York Times, as well as co-host with Gina Wardem of the New York Times podcast Still Processing. Previously, Morris wrote the Boston Globe and then Greenland. And this is my comment about uh, this review from Wesley Morris. In my opinion, Wesley Morris presents a general review, but there is something unique about a story that is presented based on in a hypnosis. By telling the essence of the film, the notebook makes the audience who reads it will be a little interested, and I am interested too. And then the character described by Morris is more to the main character. Explain in detail by comparing with other films, such as in paragraphs 4 and 5. The plot of the story listed in the review is quite easy to explain. And then he explained that the film was easy to guess by ordinary people or people who saw the film for the first time. I also agree with the statement in the last paragraph about how parents become old-fashioned with love issues. That must be realistic. And thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.